Friends of the media, uh, as part of India's ongoing December presidency of the UN Security Council, I had the privilege to preside over two high-level ministerial meetings of the Council. Each of these was focused on our key priority themes of counterterrorism and reformed multilateralism. We began yesterday with the installation of the bust of Mahatma Gandhi at the North Lawns here at UN headquarters. The bust is the first Gandhi sculpture to be installed at UN headquarters. We hope that this gift from India to the UN will stand as a reminder to follow Mahatma Gandhi's ideals in letter and spirit, to create a better and peaceful world, which is the fundamental objective of the United Nations. I'm deeply grateful to the Secretary General, the President of the General Assembly, and the ministers and other ambassadors who took out time and registered their presence on this solemn occasion yesterday. The unveiling of the bust was followed by a high-level open debate on the theme New Orientations for Reformed Multilateralism Norms. The primary focus of the open debate was on reforming multilateralism and encouraging all member states to decisively address the pressing needs for such reforms in global governance architecture, including, of course, the long-debated reforms in the UN Security Council. I express my appreciation to the SG and the PGA for their briefings and to member states for their valuable interventions in the debate yesterday. Today's high-level briefing was on the theme of counterterrorism. We were trying to build consensus among Council members on the broad principles of counter-terror architecture, and we were seeking to also improve on the Delhi Declaration, which the Counterterrorism Committee had issued after its meetings in India at the end of October. I would also like to inform you that today's meeting was preceded by a minute of silence in the memory of all victims of terrorism, and we also condoled the loss of life of the Irish peacekeeper yesterday in Lebanon and prayed for the early recovery of the peacekeepers who were injured. At the meeting today, I think the nurse Anjali Kulte, who shared her experiences of the 26/11 Mumbai attack, made a particularly vivid impact because her account of what she went through, the memories, the trauma, I think that clearly moved a lot of the council members. I think some of you may be familiar with her story. So she is actually known as a mother of 20 children because it was her presence of mind which was responsible for securing a lot of expectant mothers who were awaiting delivery at that point of time. But it was a reminder, I think, as many representatives noted, that terrorism doesn't only extract a cost in human lives, but it leaves behind scars and trauma for those who survive it. And so I think it's a reminder to us really of why it's so important to fight it. I'm particularly pleased to share with all of you that we have today agreed on a PRST on counterterrorism. This reaffirms that terrorism in all its forms and manifestations constitutes one of the most serious threats to international peace and security. Any acts of terrorism are criminal and unjustifiable regardless of the motivation, whenever, wherever, and by whomsoever they are committed. We remain determined to contribute further to the effectiveness of the overall fight of the international community and the UN on this matter. I will, after this interaction, be proceeding to a monthly luncheon, which we normally do with the Secretary General, Security Council members. This, incidentally, is the lunch itself is themed on the International Year of Millets 2023, which we have been promoting next year. So I hope to familiarize council members more with the virtues of millet. We will later in the day be launching a group of friends for accountability for crimes against peacekeepers. And this was during our August 2021 presidency. The Security Council, by Resolution 2589, had called for ensuring accountability in this regard. So this will be taking that initiative forward. And we hope definitely that along with India, others like Bangladesh, Egypt, France, Morocco, and Nepal will serve as co-chairs of this initiative. I, of course, while addressing you today at the conclusion of my visit, this is also the last month of our current membership of the Security Council. And during this 8th innings of ours, we have attempted to bring many themes of contemporary relevance like maritime security, technology in UN peacekeeping, reforms of the UN, and counterterrorism to the center of the agenda and of the debate in the UN. We have also sought to be the voice of the global South on many issues of concern. We have tried to not only articulate their interests and anxieties, but also try to see whether we could serve as a bridging role in the Council. So I take this opportunity to thank all of you with whom I have met from time to time during these last 2 years, to thank all my fellow members of the Council. It's been a pleasure working with them. And finally, I'm glad to inform you that we have declared our candidature for our next tenure at the Council for 2028-29, and we look forward to being back. Thank you. Sorry. Oh, yeah.
Hi, and this is Miriam Ramadi, Afghanistan International. India has raised concern about terrorism in the region, especially from Afghanistan under the Taliban regime. Are you worried that the Taliban is actually helping or supporting terrorist group, especially Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan?
Well, after the Taliban takeover of Kabul, this council had met and expressed the concerns of the international community in regard to Afghanistan as a whole through a council resolution. And I think that remains very much the sentiment and the outlook of the international community. One of the key expectations there is that Afghanistan will not again serve as a base for terrorism against other countries. And we expect whoever has authority in Afghanistan to respect and honor that commitment.
Thank you, Mr. Jaishankar. Yoshita Singh with Press Trust of India. Yesterday, we heard the Pakistani Foreign Minister Bhutto mention Kashmir in the UN Security Council meeting on reformed multilateralism. Another Pakistani minister, Hina Rabbani Kar, is talking about a dossier and allegations against India coming from a country that hosted Osama bin Laden. Your thoughts on this? And also a quick question on the latest clashes between the Indian and the Chinese forces in Arunachal, if you can comment on that. Thank you.
Well, I read the reports on what Minister Hina Rabbani Kar said. And, I was reminded more than a decade ago, if my memory serves me right, Hillary Clinton was visiting Pakistan, Islamabad. And Hina Rabbani Kar was a minister at that time. And I think standing next to her, Hillary Clinton actually said that if you have, I'm giving you the sense, it's not an exact quote, that if you have snakes in your backyard, you can't expect them to bite only your neighbors. Eventually, they will bite the people who keep them in the backyard. But as you know, Pakistan is not great on taking good advice, and you see what's happening there. In terms of what they are saying, look, the truth is everybody the world today sees them as the epicenter of terrorism. Now, I know we've been through 2.5 years of COVID, and a lot of us have brain fog as a result. But I assure you, the world has not forgotten, where does terrorism, who has their fingerprints over a lot of activities in the region and beyond the region. So I would say that it's something which they should remind themselves before indulging in the kind of fantasies which they do.
Mr. Minister, I'm from Geo TV Pakistan. If you would like to entertain my question also. Okay. How about Kulbhushan, first of all, and India and Pakistan have been accusing each other about terrorism. Hina Rabbani, as you said, yesterday, she brought out this.
Could you come to the question?
My question is, how long South Asia is going to see this terrorism disseminating from New Delhi, Kabul, and Pakistan? How long they are going to be at war, number one? And secondly, how about the UN Security Council resolutions on Kashmir? Does India abide by it or not?
Thank you. You're asking the wrong minister when you say how long will we do this, because it is the ministers of Pakistan who will tell you how long Pakistan intends to practice terrorism. So look, at the end of the day, the world is not stupid, the world is not forgetful, and the world does increasingly call out countries and organizations and people who indulge in terrorism. And by taking that debate elsewhere, you're not going to hide it. You're not going to confuse anybody anymore. People have figured it out. So my advice is, please clean up your act. Please try to be a good neighbor. Please try and contribute to what the rest of the world is trying to do today, which is economic growth, progress, development. So I hope through your channel that message goes through. Shall I finish? Thank you.
Second part, Mr. Minister, second part of my question. Thank you.